tell me about Free Britney, because I don't know. I see it. I mean, I've seen clips about it, and I've been hearing rumblings for a couple of years about it, and now it feels as though it's really come to a head.
Right.
I would say, if anybody that can comment on this, what the hell happened there? Explain to our audience what the Free Britney thing is and what happened, and where should she go from here?
So this is what I can tell you. I mean, I wasn't in her inner circle by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
I can just tell you,
as an outsider.
Yeah, outsider. What I can tell you is this: you start making that kind of money. I didn't make anywhere close to, what I would just call funny money, play money in that situation where you're worth, 80, 90, 100, $200 million like she is. But before that happens, like when we were on the Mickey Mouse Club, there is still a chance where people think this kid can be really good. So I'm going to kind of latch on to this kid and help them out. Mm-hmm. And I think what happened with her is it got big quick, man. I mean, it just exploded. And then it's, your name and likeness and all that kind of stuff, even before Twitter and TikTok and all the other stuff that we have today. And it just starts cranking and the money just starts coming in. And so she's a kid and there's never a no person. Nobody ever says no. They all say, yeah, we can do that for you, Britney. We can do that for you, whoever. And so for Britney, it eventually got to a point. I don't know her parents, but I'm going to try and err on the side of just being vanilla. I think her dad wanted some extra cash, but I think her dad said, this is getting, wild and she's dating Justin and we've got to put something together. Then the Justin Timberlake thing, broke up. She meets Kevin Federline. She has a ridiculous amount of money. She starts having kids at a young age. And her dad's like, what the heck? Mm-hmm. We've got to kind of do something, put it all into a trust. Well, then we get into that conservatorship once she shaves her head and does all that. Do I think at that point, more than likely, from what I know and what people have told me, Wes, I do think there was some time in her life then that she was kind of not 100% thinking straight. Okay.
And again, explain to our audience the conservatorship. So when does a conservatorship come into play?
A conservatorship, at least in this situation, came into play. Think of it almost as like if you've had an older parent who starts doing things with their money that they shouldn't because all of a sudden they've developed dementia or they've developed Alzheimer's or both kind of running at the same thing. You kind of become the controller of that person's finances. Well, in Britney's case, it's crazy, Wes. It looks like it's the controller of life for her in the sense of you can't do this. You can't buy this. You can't have money for this. They were almost controlling what doctor she was going to. They really pulled a full belt around her life, which I didn't.
Now that is in the again, a conservatorship document can be written by an attorney, and then it has to be stamped by approval of a court, correct?
Yes.
So you can draft a conservatorship in I guess a couple different ways, but it can be an ultra restrictive one, and then as long as the judge says yes, then that becomes a legal document. So that's kind of what happened then, I guess. So she made $100 million. So let me summarize. She made, let's call it $100 million plus. She went in her father's eyes, hey, kind of semi-crazy, not fully able to make her own decisions,
right,
with the kerosene of the money. And then he drew up a conservatorship. The court said yes. And then all of a sudden, he became the conservator legally of not just one of her bank accounts, but like sounds like her likeness, her brand, her income and everything. And that's what happened, right?
Yeah. And that's the way I understand it. Even
and then
with
the Free Britney thing then is the public finally becoming aware of that and saying like, this doesn't seem fair.
Correct.
Hey Dad, can't you let her out of this thing? And where are we on that? Like what's happening with that?
So it looks like even as of recently as maybe a week or two ago. So I apologize if I don't remember the timing.
Yeah, we're talking, by the way, we're in August here. We're mid-August.
Right. Correct. Sorry. Yes. So probably the end of July, beginning maybe last week, which is the first week in August, I believe the judge denied her request to have her dad removed as the acting conservator of the conservatorship. And she has actually requested to keep a conservatorship in place, but more than likely, as you're aware, like in some trusts, have more of a corporate conservator, somebody who's not emotionally tied or family related to make those decisions, somebody that can kind of give her the, no, Brittany, you've spent X amount of money. We've said we were only going to do X amount of money. So you're done for the month or whatever that may
like
be.
A corporate trustee, like a Schwab trust, a New York.
Correct.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
That is correct. So that is, from what I understand as of right now, and I have a friend of mine who's very close to the situation that says that is kind of where they are. And I guess, unfortunately for Britney, she's got to go back to the drawing board to try and convince the court again, like you said, because a judge stamped it years ago and they've opened it up to listen to it. I guess whatever the arguments are to drop her dad are not working. And we don't know what those conversations really are from the courtroom to say why or why not. It seems pretty cut and dry for us if you just follow, just the information we're given, but maybe there's something we just don't know, Wes.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen an interview with her. Has there been any interviews? I mean, again, I guess the reason we're on this, by the way, so my Retire Sooner podcast audience is saying, Wes, why the hell are we talking about Free Britney? Well, it's because this is a fascinating topic of young kids becoming stars, making millions of dollars, and they can turn out great. They can turn out where they had a responsible upbringing, or they can end up making all the money in the world and still not being able to access it, which is what happened with this situation. So it's just a fascinating conundrum. Really, it's really a shame. I mean, you would think that it's really a shame. Yeah.